Can you click? Oh, you're good. I do believe we are live. Yay. I don't see us. Here we are. Check it out. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so a little different than normal. Hopefully this is actually working. We're waiting for my brother to join us. Some technical difficulties. Probably should have practiced this. I know.
Ruined it. I was going to be like, we have a special guest star on the show today.
I'm sorry. Would you like to try that again? We have a special guest.
Billy Pouch Jr. is going to join us.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Yeah. If he figures it out. Apparently he can't remember his Facebook password, and that's where I sent the link to for him to join us. So in the meantime,
nobody can ever remember those things.
No,
Google password, your Facebook password, your iTunes password. They make you have too many characters and numbers and capitals and
then they're gonna change it again, and then all our passwords from then are just makes no sense. So until he joins us, oh my goodness. So we've got Michael, Travis, Cole, Heather, Michael, Kim. You should try this sometime. Jarrett, James, Lee, Prometheus, Chase, Gary, Richard, Marvin, Super Dirty 63, Jason, David, Darren, James, Steve, Jay, Daryl, John, Michael.
That was fast.
Thank you. I'm getting good at that. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
Friday.
Say yes.
You care about your car?
Oh, wait.
Ads.
Oh,
hey,
here we go.
Michelle.
Here we go. See if he knows how to turn the camera on. Watch your P's and Q's. We're already live.
You're already live.
We're already live. Well, it's 12:15. We can't keep everyone waiting.
Audio, no video yet.
Can you turn your camera on, Billy?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay.
Kim says that Bob has 52 different passwords and never can remember any of them.
Hey!
Hey!
How are ya?
Not bad. Let's see if we can get this right here.
I'm seeing if we can see it from here. Oh, we can. Oh, this is so fun. I like this.
They're getting talented, aren't they?
This is great. I feel so excited. I haven't physically seen my brother in like a month and a half.
Right? so I feel like anybody else feel like they're joining the 70s with your background there?
You want to know what? There's people that tell us it looks like a doctor's office.
Help us all. That's trouble.
I can't do much with it. We don't own it. I'd paint it white, but whatever, it's totally fine.
Your house looks much more modern than ours.
Yeah.
Well, right now you're just staring at the wall, so.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people are super excited that you're joining us. This is awesome. Tell us what's going on in Jersey. I mean, it's here, in case you're wondering.
What is going on in Jersey? So I like to call us Pencil Jersey because we're half a mile from Pennsylvania. So I don't call us totally Jersey on that side of it. But we're doing good. Just working during the day and going to the shop at night and trying to be like Mike Mahaney with my facial hair. It's not too well, but it's coming. It's hanging. I'm a little sketchy on it. I got to shave it next week for some meetings, but otherwise we're doing good.
Oh man, just when it's coming in, you got to shave it off.
Well, I don't know. I'm debating on it. I think what does everyone think if I leave the stash and grow the mullet so I can look like in the 90s?
I mean, I know Dad's got the stash rocking, so you guys can be twins.
Yeah, I don't know on that side. It might be interesting for sure.
Oh my gosh. So I mean,
are you able to see the questions on there?
Nope. I can just talk to you two, so we're good to go. Welcome to the Mike and Mandy on Friday here, live to you from population of 50 people in New York.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, there you go, Billy. Someone already asks, is the Pouch Fan Day going to be moved later?
Well, that's a good question. Who knows on that side of it? You know, we're hoping July 12th. If it's August, we'll take it one step at a time. If anybody, I stay out of that side of it, but if you read what's going on, the last phase takes it from 50 people to full racing. So I don't know when it's going to come about. So we'll see how it all goes.
I mean, well, obviously we'll keep the date, but until we're told otherwise, or until like there's a race that day, we can't have it. I mean, we're going to have it, but we just for now, we'll keep it there, right?
We'll keep it there at that point, hopefully. I mean, last time we had 500 people, so it definitely does the guidelines. We might have to do our 6 feet apart, but we'll see what happens when we get there. You know, as everything changes day to day, you make the world see where it goes.
Pittsburgh Girl says, at least you're on the side where the liquor stores are open.
I know, right? Can you imagine not having liquor stores?
Looked on the other side?
Really?
So I didn't know. So long story short, in Pennsylvania, there's no liquor stores. They're just shipping on that side of it. So funny story. So when they started closing down here, I thought they were going to close the liquor stores too. So I went and dropped like $80 on liquor because I thought the liquor stores were going to close because it was that day. But it remained one positive.
How with the toilet paper? Go with the liquor.
Is toilet paper back in stock yet in Jersey?
The toilet paper is not that bad down here. At first, I bought the cheapest rolls. The only rolls like a fine. They're like the ones that you grab and they crumble in your hands before you even get to the point of wiping.
The kind that he buys. That's the kind that he buys. Just saying. Just putting it out there. Oh my goodness.
Heather Heron says, huge thank you to Billy Pouch Jr. Thank you for taking the time to say hello to my son last year after a win. He made a new fan at New Egypt Speedway. You've always been
that is awesome. So you got to make sure anything we do, it's going to be an interesting thing because kids are playing a lot of video games and stuff. So hopefully once this gets out, they want to go outside and see racing and see the side of it because you can only do so much electronics. I mean, iRacing is cool and stuff, but it's video games. You grow up, you got to live in a reality. You can't live in a virtual reality your whole life.
Yeah, you got to get out and move around.
Yeah. I had Jay ask Billy, what do you think of the new Bridgeport Speedway configuration?
It's pretty cool on that side of it. I wouldn't lie if I didn't say I thought about running there this year, but it did not work out on that side. But we'll definitely be down to race. I might, Doug offered to go down and check it out one day. So we might take a drive down, just the family on that side of it and do our social distance and check it out because I'm really intrigued to see it. It's a shame you put so much money into the place. We hope we can race it because it looks cool as can be.
Yeah, it looks really good. David asks, what car number are you gonna have at Big Diamond, and are you gonna have swag available?
I am actually gonna have my white 15, and actually I'm gonna split the time between that and the 14 of Brightenstein's. It's a pretty good deal actually, and we will have swag apparel coming on that side of it. I'm just still trying to get our swag. We actually have everything approved, but they're not printing anything right now. So hopefully we look out and gotta look as cool as we can be.
Once they print stuff, Michelle usually sets up at the top of the grandstand, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Michelle sets up and she will be there, and probably my little guy will be riding around. I can tell you, I've watched a lot of racing videos the past month. My little guy all of a sudden is into racing. So shout out to DTD-TV. They kept us occupied the first 15 days, but then we watched every single race on there, even the Utica Rome hangover race, and we wore ourselves out. So we're now on to different channels.
Oh boy! Well, when's he gonna get in the little go-kart, Dad's
We're getting there. We're not certain right now. I don't know right now. It's only 42 degrees here, so everyone else is kind of freezing, except for.
Oh, it's snowing here. All right.
It is snowing up there, so we are working on it. We're taking quarantine the best we can. You just find projects and do what you can do.
Super Dirty 63 says, when we go back racing, can Mike and Mandy please talk the Billies into some New York tracks?
This has been a very frequent question, Billy.
Oh Lord! So we'll see what happens. I'll be honest with you, I suck up there for some unknown reason. And I don't hold back, I can say that side of it. So maybe I'll get better at going up there. I can tell you that. I do have all the parts coming. It's kind of interesting trying to order parts and trying to order stuff. So we're a little different the way we race around here. So our setups are kind of different, but we're working towards it. We've got all the spring smashers, this, that, to try to get better to come up to New York. Cause it's cool up there, man. There's some fun racetracks up there. Even though I agree, I'm more of a 5 mile point person than I am some of the weed sport, but the facility wise you can't compare. But the racetrack, I got to give 5 mile point a nod for raciness. And Mike shakes his head, even though he's got to be politically correct here.
I do. I enjoy it.
Yeah. There's a difference though. Billy's more like the heavy tracks.
Like when the slip. Yeah, you're waiting for them to get the water truck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's funny though is actually about that is down here I'm more on the slick tracks than I am that side of it. So you got to take it as a different grip, as different racing type of it as the way it goes. I mean, like when we were down in Trenton there, when it got slick, everyone's like, "Oh, you should be better on the slick," and I'm like, "You drive this more." So it's kind of funny the different takes on racing and where you race at.
So John Doe asks, I like this, by the way. Billy, you can join us every Friday if you want, because this is it's all for you now. So John Doe asks, how many cars does Billy have and are they ready to go?
All right. So that's a good question on that side of it. So at this point, I'm running the Brightenstein car. They have 2 cars. One is completely done. One is not. Holston has 3 cars. 2 of the 3 are done, I would say, as far as that goes. The third one's totally done. Just the body hasn't been lettered. And then my shop, I actually have, I have 4 right now, which is crazier than you would think. So we have a small block, a big block, and 2 speedsters. So 2 of the 3 are totally scaled. My big block's been scaled, but I don't know where I'm going with it. So I put that back up. And then the 4th car I just started taking and tackling now, which is the speedster that I plan to run Bridgeport with when they open. Because I've had such good luck at Kutztown with the car I have there that I don't want to take it down there.
You find it hard to know how to scale your car or whatever because you don't even know where you're going to race it next?
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I know my small block car, so you can look at everything. I have a funny feeling before anything races, it's going to be either Pennsylvania or Delaware in our area, just because of the way everything looks as far as that goes and the way it's affected. So I figured my spec car will go to Big Diamond no matter what. I'm hoping to test there, so you do hear stories of testing and stuff going on, kind of under closer on that side of it. So kind of intrigued as far as that goes. But I know my one speedster is going to Kutztown. I know the one's going to Big Diamond, so I scaled for that, Mike.
That's great. Sounds like you have quite a fleet of different owners and in your own shop as well. There's a lot of stuff.
It keeps it occupied, It's like Mike. He's got the 35s, but he's 3 hours away from his own cars. There, he's still got a pile. So I'm sure. How many cars are down at the Mahaney farm right now?
We have 2. We've lowered the amount a little bit.
2.
Yeah,
there was more than 2.
Well,
there.
we sold one to my cousin Joey.
Oh, that's still there.
So he has
okay.
2 cars now.
Oh.
And we have the 2 Bicknells now.
But Jim also just bought.
He just bought a speedster frame so that we can swap everything over onto that car and get that back going eventually.
Jim has a passion for Tobias racing. So if anybody knows, isn't that when Mike started the slingshots and they get into speedsters? It's different. Everything's a tackle on that side of it. We've kind of kept it low. So with everything going on, I've kind of kept my guys away from the shop the past 3 or 4 weeks, but I've been kind of steady going by myself because if, you want to keep safe, and if they kept coming around, I would be out of work in the next 2 weeks too. So I had to keep myself occupied.
It's just you and your
that
race
that is a good point you made. When my dad started winning races, it was when he got a Tobias chassis.
Yep.
Started running better, and that was the pinnacle of his career when he was running the Tobias cars.
Mm-hmm. So everyone would like to know, Billy, what are you doing to keep BP3 busy?
Oh Lord, that's a good question on that side of it. He's not here right now. So the one good thing I gotta say is we live on a compound right now. So the only one that's not on the compound is the 2 of them up in New York. So we're attached to my parents as far as that goes, but they can't see us. So literally we can walk there, but we're far enough where we're not within sights. But my mom has them, my grandmother. She has them right now. So we have HO cars, we have slot cars, we have go-karts, we have 4-wheelers, we have everything you can imagine on that side of it. But I mean, he's still 4, so his attention span lasts like 5 minutes, so it's not too long as far as that goes.
Excuse you, did you see the coloring pages that I sent him that no one
has? Yes. Shout out to Aunt Mandy for sending down coloring pages on that side of it. Kind of cool. Very cool.
Line on it was
no,
over.
We definitely colored them. If I could find them, I'd show it to you guys on that side of it. Maybe my wife in the background will find those for us.
She's back there somewhere. Okay, so David asks for the both of you. We've slightly touched base on this, but what is it like to race both of each other versus other competitors? Does it make your racing more cautious? Who wants to go first? You want to go first, Billy?
I'll watch it. Watch the Heat from Charlotte last year. Me and Mike should have ran second and third. We ran third and fourth because we ran too cautious. So that's exactly what happened right there. He didn't want to crowd me, and I didn't want to crowd him. So here comes God. I don't even remember McLaughlin right through the middle of us. Live and learn. But we both were in it, and it sucks. But knock on wood, you kind of try to avoid it. I think Mike tries to avoid running with the work shoe as much as he can. They might be arguing after a while, and I might be running against my dad. But what we do, it is what it is, you know.
Yeah, I agree. It's where you feel like you're trying to give each other more room than you normally would.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Oh, get out. No way. Who helped him with that?
I colored it, so that was my job.
I was like,
That's spot
no
on.
way. Okay, well, that's not
It's
bad.
very advanced for 4.
I'm impressed. Oh my gosh. Billy, Heather Heron asks, what's your favorite memory of racing?
What's my favorite memory of racing? Ooh, that's a good one. So I got a lot of different things that have happened over the years. So you got to remember, because seeing a lot of my dad's wins over the years, you grow and you meet a lot of people. That's the overall prospect of it, just the fun you've had. God, I can remember when I was 5. So I think my dad swept the 420s there. Mandy probably wasn't even born. I was 6 or 7. She was too young. They actually took a broom and they were brooming the fans off the stands because they won all 4. They had a broom and they were taking the broom and rolling the thing. So needless to say, we used to get beer cans thrown at us and stuff, different things. My dad, and I think we were always taught, you never be cocky, but when you get around people, they just take in the winning and they like to antagonize more than that. So some of the fun things and the different stuff that goes on makes it interesting for sure, you know?
I always say it's the people. Like the racing, there's so many good racing, but races won and stuff, but I feel like it's the community and the people, like the stories we really can't share.
Well, yeah, correct. I mean, I can tell you a lot of the fun and the people I've met over the years. It was a cool experience when I went to, this is going to sound weird, but I went to Albany 2-3 years ago and I flipped in warm-ups. I didn't even know 40 people that were around the car helping us. That was pretty cool. I mean, it was like Bodie Bellinger and stuff like that I had no idea. They loaned us headers, and heck, that was the first time I've been to Albany in 10 years and people were helping us. It was pretty cool. Don't want to flip in warm-ups again, but for that experience, it was a neat experience.
It was something else, just
right. Even Mike was there. He
hauling all over and with zip ties and duct tape and rivets and just anything to fix this thing and get it back out there. It was crazy.
Did you race that night?
No, I was just there.
You were with me, right?
Yep.
So we had you just showed up and you were getting pulled in on the road.
Yeah, we didn't even know what happened.
Yep, I flipped in warm-ups. That's an all-time low on that side of it. I drove 3.5 hours. So you asked me why I don't go to New York. That could be one of the reasons. The last time I went there too, does anybody remember the Fulton flip of 2015? Yep, I barreled it down the front stretch in the first lap of the heat. So, as they say, you can't let a dead horse beat you. You got to get back up and keep punching. So I will be back.
Good.
Right, good. So, unless do you have a question? Probably not.
William Hanna asks Billy, what is your first memory at a racetrack?
Oh man, that's a good one on that side of it. I remember vaguely the dirt of Flemington, but mostly, I grew up when it switched, I grew up on the asphalt of Flemington and then the East Windsor and Penn National are the hardest ones for me to swallow because I remember them like it was yesterday. Penn National on the infield and stuff, and East Windsor. That's as far back as I can go. I can remember vaguely the Chesson days, but man, I was so small, it's tough to remember, on that side. Just like I said, cool years. I kind of wish we raced in the 80s. As people can see, that is the original picture of Mandy. So that is 1993. She would be 4 months at that point. That's the earliest I went. You could see she was the second child because when I was born, they didn't take me to the races as much. The second child always goes right away. So different parts of it.
Jason asks, does Billy Jr. share the race shop with Senior? If so, how far away is he from the race shop?
I got the back half. So if you've been to the race shop, I can walk there. So my dad has the front half and I have the back half of it. So there's 4 cars in the back, and then we have a golf cart and a 4-wheeler that we ride back and forth. Literally, like I said, a kind of half a compound on that side of it. So there's enough to do on that side. We kind of split up, and then what's nice about it though is as you buy tools and welders and the more expensive stuff, you can split it between the two of us, and it makes it more cost efficient to buy it that way.
Mike Falcon asked, when and where was your first race in a big block? He didn't say big block. Just
No, I know where you're going on that side of it. So it started, it was originally going to be in 2002 or 1. I was like 14. My dad was running for the Thumb. If anybody remembers Rick Thumb, they were going to Rolling Wheels, and he's like, oh, we don't have enough cars. We're going to put the little guy in a backup car. I was like 14, scared to crud. I could hardly get in gear on that side of it. Got halfway there and it rained out. So circle back to the next year. Oh man, I might have been 15. I went to Hagerstown, 2003. And out of all of us, if anybody remembers Tom Hager, first laps of the heat race, I'm like, oh, I'm beating Tom Hager. He comes over afterwards. There's only 24 cars that day. He goes, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to make the redraw. I just followed you around to see if you'd be any good. You'll be all right, kid.
That was nice of him.
I got another good question here. So Patrick Bagenstos says,
Yep.
What do you feel gives you the most advantage if you have to pick between one of these three things? Track condition, setup, or motor?
Ooh, that's a good thing. That's an interesting one on that side of it. That's a good call, Patrick. Hopefully he's doing good. I know Patrick on that end of it. We're hanging tough as far as that goes. I think setup's pretty key on that side of it. But we were talking about this last night. So my dad's on the approach. He don't race as much. So he's got 20, 30 races a year. So needs everything to be perfect. Where I'm a believer in, sometimes if you race 80 races a year, you get just in a zone. You race more and you win more. It's just more of a conflicting thing. But you need good motors. You need good power, and track conditions do play a factor. There's places where I feel I'm better in the slick at, and there's places you're more comfortable with, and that's just different things to it.
So, crap, I had one. Oh no, so many questions. Okay, Billy, John asks, if you weren't involved in racing, what would be your preferred profession? I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know what you actually do. But
So no, I actually, knock on wood. So you would think I do this full time, which I actually don't. So I'm actually a financial consultant for MetLife Insurance. So I race 80 races a year and have a shop that I go to every night. But I do have a real job. So knock on wood, through this whole thing, I have not stopped. So we've been busy. That's why I don't join as much as I can, because I do work during the day. But I blocked my schedule for today just to join the M&M show because I thought it would be kind of interesting. So on that side of it, we have an M&M honorary for Mike and Mandy. Does that not look like Mike and Mandy? Little Mike with Mandy here and Mike going, oh God.
This looks like copyright issue.
this is cute. This is cute. Oh my God. Let's see. Did you get a question, Mike?
Do either of you have an opinion about the Cindy surface? Was it a bad idea, or have any other tracks tried to use it?
Ooh.
You heard about that?
Cindy.
So
Did you race on that, Mike?
I did. They put this synthetic surface called Cindy on Brewerton. And I don't know if there was any other, maybe Rolling Wheels.
Was this last year?
Brewerton Rolling Wheels. No, it was a good 5 years plus ago. And the racing was single file and it was very dusty. So it didn't work out very well. They immediately took all the surface off and went back to regular clay.
So people don't realize how expensive it is. So I just had a conversation with Deo the other day. Actually, he'd be a good guest for you guys on one of your shows. Just interesting. So he spent the amount of money you take to put clay on a track is unbelievable. It's not the clay that costs as much, it's the trucking. So they get you like $240 a truckload for some of this clay to come in. So you wonder why track promoters can't afford it. It's just such an expensive venture to put clay on it. The synthetic surface is a good idea in theory, but it just didn't play out. I don't think it doesn't mean it can't be done right, but it just needs to be done better.
Exactly. What I've seen is that tracks that are in areas that don't have good clay nearby have to pay so much to get it shipped from a long distance away that they can't afford it.
Correct.
Someone had asked, this is going to be a total pick on me, but Mike said the other day that my brain has a tendency to wander. Billy, would you agree?
Oh my God, yeah. She gets that honestly though. So you with all of us kind of like start to think, and then they wander off. You wonder where she's going as far as that goes. Mandy does. So we don't know what she's thinking about a lot. So she's off in Wonderland on that side of it. So maybe next Friday, since I've got the Zoom down or something, I can get my dad to come over and we can all join on that side of it.
That'd be
Look
fun.
at that. I like it.
There have been people asking
Yes.
for senior
I
to come on.
tossed the idea, but I was like, there's no way Dad would be able to do it on his own.
So you really want to get into that side of it? So last night, what we do spend on quarantine is we try to teach him how to use a spring smasher with electronic computers and printing graphs and stuff. So we had this conversation last year, a 63-year-old guy, and I asked him, I said, do you ever think racing was going to come down to me and you on computers doing graphs and stuff like that? He's like, never in my wildest dreams. So that's a transition of where sports come through,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, they've changed a lot. With me and my dad, when we first bought a shock dyno, all he had ever done is just bought pros and bolted them on. Here's a 5, here's a 4, and nobody ever rebuilt them back then. So a lot has changed.
Had something. Okay, Billy. So Super Dirty 63 asks, is the thought behind sail panels that they will produce more side-by-side racing and passing?
I don't know. I think that's the initial thought. The problem with sail panels is especially that you can drive in so much harder and they stick so much more. What I like about them is you get another place to put your sponsors. That's the best part about them, to be honest with you. They're a great walking billboard for us, It all comes back to, honestly, what do you like more? It's like wing racing versus non-wing racing. You put sail panels on, the cars are going to stick much more, especially on a bigger track. And the way we've got these things, it puts so much air on them. It's got the car so much tighter. I don't know if it makes for better racing, but it definitely makes for a different style of racing.
So you touched on Spring Smasher. Obviously, we're going to have to do a how-to video on a Spring Smasher once you figure it out. But can you kind of give us like a short briefing of what the Spring Smasher is?
Oh boy, I don't know if Mike wants. I could take it from the start on that side of it. So you think of look at a modified or look at any car. There you have your shock and your coil on that side of it. So think of it this way: you have 100. So say you have a 150-pound spring on there. If that coil's 10 inches, if it's down 2 inches on that side of it, it's down. You're into that spring 300 pounds because each inch on a spring is 150 pounds. So what we're trying to figure out is if that shock and spring is traveling 3 inches, what is that rate from that 8-inch to 5-inch? And then we're seeing if we can change it through that whole curve pattern to make it come in faster or come out come in later. So it's kind of an art of, you need to know your travel and you need to know when you want to hit what rate at what point.
Yeah, and the history behind it is people used to test springs with a hydraulic spring compressor, and they would just pump them in, and they would write down the numbers of what they come out as on the scale. And that was, I checked this spring and it's good. Well, it's good, but now we're trying to collect more data than that and learn more from what's going on the springs.
Agreed.
Okay, so I'd say we'll give you, Billy, 2 more minutes because you gotta get back to work. If anyone has any questions, ask now or forever hold your peace. But in the meantime, there was a question. Billy, Ray asks, what track that is sadly closed now that you miss the most?
Oh, East Windsor on that side of it. I know people would think Flemington, but I just remember the asphalt days. East Windsor was more my style and where I came from. Every Friday night with the Icy Man and watching it go around. I wish I could run there any day on that side of it. It was a cool track. That and National. And I did, it's funny, I did look at my notes for those out there. I actually ran Makatech Speedway in like 2003. What a cool little joint on that side of it. So a lot of cool little old tracks that I need to have saved, but I really wish I could race East Windsor today.
You're doing some serious deep research on this quarantine.
You got to know what's going on.
So, who's your favorite retired driver?
Retired, as far as that goes. Ooh, that's a good one. I hate to say this. I was always a Jeff Gordon fan as a kid because I grew up with. So if anyone knows the backstory, my dad actually moved Ray Everham to North Carolina in 1991. So when Ray took over for crew chief for Jeff Gordon in '92, we kind of met him. He sent me birthday cards, and kind of became my racing person from that side of it. Not saying I didn't like Dale Earnhardt or not, but Gordon was kind of the way it was. As far as retired on that kind of it goes, man, there's a lot of drivers out there that are kind of cool on that side of it. Like, I was shocked last summer when Gary Ballou came up to me. He's like, hey, he gave me like this weird speech, even though I don't agree with everything that was coming down. And the story he had to sell was definitely cannot say on here, because he's definitely old school and you get away with a lot more back in the day as a race car driver than you can now.
So obviously, because your job, you couldn't, but one person asks, if you had the opportunity to do the dirt tour, would you?
You know, I respect Dean Reynolds. I like to join him. It's a kind of a cool deal as far as that goes, but it's not based on what I do. And we live in New Jersey. Why would I want to race all in New York when I could race for the same amount of money down this way? Yes, it's awesome. I do want to go to Canada. I do want to do some of the racetracks, so I'm hoping we can. We are prepped to do a lot of that, but it just doesn't make sense to me with a kid on that side of it and everything. Why travel so much for when the same pays around here? You gotta, sometimes in the sport, you gotta be money smart or penny wise and money smart. There's a saying to it, and I can't get it right. But to answer your question, yes, I would like to run a lot of them. I don't know if I'd ever do the whole tour, but I do want to do a lot of the cool tracks on the side.
You would think that you would be money smart, being that is your full-time job.
Yeah.
You would think so on that side of it. I mean, I advise people to stay out of racing if you want to make money, but that's a different story, different day. You got to see, the problem is you can only save and do this side of it so much. You have to enjoy life too. Life's a factor. You got to respect what everything is going on. You can live in a bubble so long, but you can't live in a bubble your whole life. That's just the thing of it is you do the best you can every day. You make smart choices to race where you want and what makes sense. You want a return on investment. When you roll a car out, it's $800 every night. You roll a car out if you figure out your total expenses on a modified. So you need to be able to make that money to pay your night to keep it going.
That's a great point.
Such an optimist he is.
I get the positive of the side.
Yeah, I know. But thank you for joining us. This was fun. If you guys enjoyed this, let us know, comment, and if you'd like Billy to bring Dad into this, that should be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get that working.
Maybe we can do that next Friday on that side of it. So we'll see what happens. And thank you for having me on. It's good to see you. Good to see you two back up there in the 80s land up there. Thanks for having us on.
I'd flip you off, but that was.
All right, let's see how I end this. And thank you, Billy. And
Thanks everyone for watching. Come back again on Monday.
Monday. Yeah. Have a good weekend. See ya.
Yeah.